Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new around here, my name is Carrie and I'm a flight attendant, and today I'm doing a very chit-chatty get ready with me, catching up on all things about my life, moving, birthday, work, all the things. So if you guys are interested in seeing a get ready with me, then just keep on watching. So I have these under eye patches sitting on right now. I've had them on for probably 30 minutes. They're just some of the Peter Thomas Roth ones, or like this cooling, whatever. I keep them in the fridge and put them on sometimes. So this is my makeup bag. It is pretty dang full because I keep backups of almost every single thing in here. So yeah. I do this thing where whenever I do my makeup, I pour everything out on a towel. So that's what we're gonna do. And I do this because then I never miss a step, because once I finish something, I throw it back in the bag. Let's pour it out. Yeah. It makes sense in my head. Make it make sense. Really have a great area in my apartment to do like a makeup tutorial. So we're sitting on the floor and we're just gonna rock and roll with it. There we go, that's good enough. So I'm gonna take these off. Ooh, those are nice. Good enough. I also went to Ulta, so I have a few new goodies, but most of it is backups. But I have some fun stuff in there. So I feel like a lot to share with you guys, because I kind of ghosted you after my birthday vlog. I'm not really using a primer right now. I'm not going to talk too much in detail about the makeup. I'm just going to kind of do it. And if you want to know the products, I'll list them below. But I kind of ghosted you guys after my birthday, and let me explain why. So I have the same trip all month, which is just a really terrible 2-day trip. And it's 3 legs and 3 legs. So basically it's like early sign-in, Miami, Havana, Havana, Miami, and then I lay over, I sit for 2 hours, and then I lay over in Atlanta. So that's where the guy that I'm seeing lives most of the time. He's between Miami and Atlanta. I've been seeing him on most of my layovers, but it's been short layovers. So the layover time I think is like 12 hours. So it's like I land there, see him, we grab dinner, and then go to bed, and then it's an early sign-in and same amount of legs the next day. And it's just been a really boring trip and not something that like is worth vlogging in my opinion. This next one that I'm going to visit him, we might be going to a concert, so I'd vlog that, but like it's been really boring. So sorry about the lack of videos about flight attendant stuff, and I've been trying to get myself to like do other content, but is it just me, or is anyone else kind of in a rut this month? Like I'm just not feeling like myself, and I'm just like super stressed and not wanting to, like I just don't feel like myself. So if you guys are feeling that way too, I'm right there with you. Oh, also I got a new beauty blender. This is my favorite one. It's the Morphe times Ariel in the blue. It's my favorite. So that's what's been going on with work. I've been working a lot. They're just really crappy trips. But I'm happy because I was able to get Atlanta layovers, which is really hard as a Miami flight attendant because we have so many Miami Atlanta commuters, which means that a lot of people who are based in Miami as flight attendants, they live in Atlanta, so they have to commute to work every trip. So they want Atlanta layovers so they can be home. So I'm lucky that I was able to get them. They're just really freaking shitty. I haven't used this product in a while. It's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and the shade is 149. I think it might be a little dark for me, but I was using the Patrick Ta. She's sculpted, and I feel like it's too light. So I needed something a little bit darker, but this might be too dark. This is honestly so satisfying. There we go. usually don't do all of this, but it's kind of fun to like draw with this thing. Oh. Yeah, that's good enough. So like I said, that's what's been going on with work. And my birthday was super fun. So if you guys, I didn't end up vlogging it, so I'm sorry about that. I think I addressed that in the last video too. It just like, there was so much going on. Like, my mom flew down for my birthday and my boyfriend wasn't supposed to stay, but then like at the last minute he was like, hey, I'm staying, like, can I stay and like come to your birthday? And I was like, yeah, of course. And then my mom was here and it was just a lot of personalities. We went to Naples and my friend Jade very, very kindly got me a spa day. We did massages and she got a hotel room there, which was super fun. And then what did we do? We hung out by the pool. We did hibachi. It was just a good time. Now I'm officially 30, which is so crazy to say, you guys. I've been on YouTube since I was 21, I think. So 9 years of us together. That's just wild. I want to talk about why I've been so stressed. So my lease is up in this apartment next month. So it's up October, like the end of October. And I don't know where I'm going to live. I am not going to stay in this same complex for multiple reasons. I want to move a little bit more north towards Fort Lauderdale. The Miami scene isn't really for me, and then I've spent a little bit of time in Fort Lauderdale and it's just more me. Also, or like maybe the Boca area, if you guys are familiar with either, let me know. But also, rent down here is so incredibly expensive, you guys. If you knew what I was paying for a 1-bedroom, you would be shocked. But I always have to remind myself, and like anyone that I tell, that I moved down here kind of in a rush and I didn't really have time to just go looking for a good deal or anything like that. Like, I kind of just had to move down here. So I need to find somewhere to live, and I definitely think I want to stay in Florida. I feel like I've been moving around so much, but like also now that it's fall, I'm getting a little homesick, but not enough to like move home. My mom did ask me if I'd move home, and I said no. I'm not there yet. Maybe someday, but not today. I love being in Florida, but like I said, I'm getting a little homesick. It's kind of turning into the fall now, and I've been trying to give myself like comfort things. Like, I've been watching a ton of Gilmore Girls. I haven't really decorated too much for fall because I'm moving in a month, so I don't want to take out my fall decorations and do all that because I'm supposed to be packing. So yeah, I'm kind of in like a weird position. I'm a little sad, and I don't know. It's also not like killing me that I am not like buying something. Like, I hate putting money into a place to rent, knowing that it's literally not going to anything that I'll own one day. So that's kind of bugging me. Don't know exactly where I would want to buy in Florida. I don't think I've explored enough places yet. But I am still really happy with the base of Miami. And when you're based in Miami, you have 3 different bases. So you can fly out of Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Boca. It's really nice to have those 3 options. And yeah, so moving will be coming up soon. All that stress of it's coming up soon, and I'm just not really looking forward to it. Look at how cool this is. I have 2 necklaces that I wear, and there's like this magnetic, I got this off Amazon, like a magnetic clasp so they don't get tangled together. and it makes it really easy to take them off when I'm like doing bronzer on my chest and everything. I haven't been able to lay out in the sun for a while because, well, I guess I could have gone to the beach. I don't know why I'm saying that, but it's been raining like crazy here, and the pool at my complex has been down for like maintenance. So I have a little story time for you guys, which I wish I would have vlogged it, but it was supposed to be just a boring 2-day trip that I didn't even think to bring my camera or to do any of that. So it was exactly the trip I was telling you guys about, except I think this time we didn't go to Havana, we went to Santa Clara, which is also in Cuba. And oh my gosh, I posted part of it on my Instagram. So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you should. Also, wait, let me pause before I forget this. I created another Instagram for selling some of my like higher end items. So if you guys are interested, I have some really good stuff on there, and the rules are in the highlight section for you to follow and like how to purchase and everything. So check that out. I posted about it on my Instagram. Like I posted this picture of this man in this like space cadet outfit or whatever. Like he looked super funny. On the second day of the trip, we go to Atlanta, Miami, sit for 2.5 hours, and then we go to Honduras, and then Honduras, Miami. Oh, let me put these back on. Normal trip, everything's going fine, and before landing, the pilots call us, and let me just like preface this with, the people I was working with were all pretty new to the company. Like they weren't even a year in, and so I was kind of like the most senior on the trip. No, not kind of, I was the most senior on the trip. We get a call from the captain, and I wasn't on the phone. Someone else picked up the phone, and he says that they had a problem come up on the plane or whatever, like it was giving them an error, and that we had to do a precautionary landing. And basically he was like, when we land, you might see a bunch of fire trucks and all of that approaching the aircraft. And this is what someone had relayed on to me. We're getting ready to land, everything's fine, everything sounds fine, like it wasn't anything like too crazy, we weren't too concerned, but like we were definitely like paying more attention, you know, stuff like that, just like being precautious. Land, everything's absolutely fine. He had made an announcement to the passengers, and the passengers were a little like, why would we see emergency personnel there when we land? Like they were a little nervous, and we were really like on them about getting their bags underneath the seats. Like everything was really top notch. Didn't end up even being any emergency personnel, but when we landed and were deplaning, there was a man in this like flammable suit who had a fire extinguisher on his back, because apparently a bunch of hydraulic fluid was leaking from the aircraft. So, you know, just like a little bit of a problem. And so we had maintenance come on, because we were supposed to just turn right back around, and our pilots were supposed to go home too. So we were all like, okay, let's go home. Like this is go home day. We want to get there. Deplane, and before we reboard, maintenance comes and looks at everything, and he says we need a part. And at that point in time, there's only one flight a day from Miami to Honduras, and we weren't going to be able to get the part for a few hours, and our pilots were going to go illegal, I believe. So at the end of the day, we knew that we would end up staying in a hotel and laying over there. And oh my gosh, you guys, we had the most fun. The pilots, the flight attendants, we all stayed at the same hotel. We ended up getting dinner together, and our airline ended up putting all those passengers that were supposed to be on our flight back to Miami at the same hotel as us. And so we all saw them, and we were so worried because there was a little bit of a delay. Like, it didn't end up telling the passengers that we were delayed for a few hours, and they were pretty upset, understandably, of course, because a lot of them were like, we have cruises we're gonna miss, and you know, connecting flights, they had plans, and so they were very visibly upset. But at that point, there's like, we need a part and we need it to be flown down to Honduras, and there was really no option but to delay the flight till the next day. So we ended up seeing a few of them at the hotel, and they were all really nice. I would rather have the flight be delayed than fly on an aircraft that is unsafe. Thankfully, they understood that, because at the end of the day, like, the airlines, everything's about safety for us, even though it seems like all we do is slay Diet Cokes and all that. Like, safety is the #1 priority. So the pilots had to work the flight out in the morning, but one of our crew members, this is what we think happened. We were supposed to end up working the flight, but we ended up deadheading, which, if you guys remember, is when flight attendants fly as a passenger, but they're still getting paid to work to get from point A to point B. So we ended up deadheading, and we think it's because one of our flight attendants who was on reserve, she had been working for 7 days in a row. She was supposed to have a day off, but ended up working because we did get stranded in Honduras. So we think that that's why, because she wasn't legal. Also, what had happened with me was, since we were deadheading, we have something called a PNR, which is kind of just like the way for us to get our boarding pass and travel as we deadhead. And my PNR for some reason wasn't working, and I called scheduling and they told me just to get it at the gate. So we show up to the airport, and security won't let us through because I don't have my boarding pass. And I'm trying to explain to them. Thankfully, we had someone on the crew who spoke Spanish, because everyone there spoke Spanish. So if we didn't have him with us, we would have been so screwed. Thankfully, we had him on our crew, because we're normally supposed to have a speaker on those flights, but I just flew the same trip a few days ago and we didn't have one, and boy did we need it. These little Q-tips that have like a pointy side, and this is how I do my eyeliner, so they just have like that sort of side. So we end up having to get the gate agent to come over for security to let me through and like show that I am supposed to be on the flight. And so we push our way through, and oh my gosh, you guys, this like airport was so small and compact, and like it was crowded, and there were people just like really upset from the day before, and you know, it was kind of a madhouse. And so we get to the gate and they won't let me on because the flight was oversold, and they had to find someone who's willing to give up their seat, and because I had to get back to base. And I mean, it was oversold for a few other passengers too, so like they were giving out money compensations, and people were more than willing to give up a seat for the next flight, which was supposed to be in like an hour or something, that our pilots were supposed to work out on the broken plane that had gotten fixed. Well, we'll get to that. So my crew goes down. They were so great though. They were like, we're not gonna leave Carrie, even though I was the only one who didn't have a seat, and everyone was just like super nice and super helpful, and it was great because we'd like all bonded the night before and hung out by the pool and gotten dinner, so it was really nice to, you know, have them there. But I'm sitting there like waiting, and finally this man's like, oh yeah, let me get your seat taken care of. It was only about a 2-hour flight back to Miami. Adding the pilot on Instagram, and he might be watching this. If you're watching this, hi. Somehow like me being on YouTube came up, and we end up adding each other on Instagram, and he messaged me and told me that the plane is still broken and the part didn't work. So they had to go back to the hotel and spend another night in Honduras. Gotta re-up on my favorite mascara. And my favorite lip liner from NYX. This might be a little too dark for this look though. So they ended up staying over another night. I didn't end up messaging him back. I gotta check my texts or my Instagram messages. I need to like figure out how to organize my Instagram messages, because everything gets pushed to the bottom once you guys start messaging me. And then I lose everything from like people that I like know, and I'm sure I come off super freaking rude when I don't reply back, but it pushes everything down, and then I'm like, what the fuck? Where's, I forget about everything. It's in the color Nude Truffle. So the last I had heard was he told me that they were stranded there and that our airline sent a different plane to come get the passengers, and they had to wait for the plane to be fixed. And you guys always know I'm pretty chill about things like that. Like when things go wrong, like if it's out of your control, like there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you could have done different. And in instances like that, when you're coming from another country and you can't, you know, rent a car, like if you guys saw my TikTok saying like, when in doubt, rent a car if stuff starts to get delayed. If that's not an option, then you just kind of have to take it as it is and be like, hey, then it wasn't supposed to work out this way. Only control so many things, you know? So I outlined my lips, and now I'm gonna put a little bit of a light lipstick in the middle. Is that the shade I want? No. We'll do this one. That's better. Back to the moving portion. If you guys have any recommendations for places for me to live, let me know, because I'm really not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm at this in between where it's like, I think I'm too old to have a roommate and I don't really want to share a space with anyone. But also it would be nice to, you know, save money, and you know, when I'm on trips, like the cats could have someone. I don't know what I want to do, and this time approached so fast. But I am pretty sure that I'm staying in Florida. I don't want to just give Florida like 1 year and then be like, oh no, I'm done with it. That's not really what I had in mind. It's just so expensive, you guys. And I feel like I'm so far from everyone. That's my only thing. I don't know. What is everyone else doing that's single and, you know, trying to figure out where to move? Like, what are you thinking, like, living-wise? I was gonna go out, but it is downpouring, you guys. So it's supposed to be like a get ready with me to go out, but I think I'm gonna stay in and just like have a little treat myself night. I might order from my favorite Asian cuisine restaurant. It's called Thai Kin. If you guys are ever in Miami, I highly recommend them. Their food is just so good, and yeah, everything I've ordered from there has just been amazing. This video is kind of all over the place. It's kind of just like a hangout with me on a Friday, what day? I don't even know what today is. Friday night, when it's downpouring and hurricaning in Miami. But I have been doing press-on nails for probably about a year. Because, do you guys hear that? To get them done in Miami is like $90, and I never like how they turn out. Like, I'm never happy with how they look, and the amount of time it takes is just insane. So I've been doing press-ons. I usually only do the OPI brand, and they'll last me 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah. But I saw these, and I haven't tried this brand yet, but the colors are just chef's kiss. So these are just like my perfect nail, almond, you know, like champagne bronze, and then these ones, little bit of a fall moment. So like, do not sleep on the press-on nails because they're cheaper. You can change them up way more often, not time consuming. Like, it'll take me 10 minutes to put those on, and they look way better than half the shit I had done at a nail salon. Hope you guys enjoyed this very chit-chatty, sporadic, all over the place get ready with me, and I hope that our next vlog will be something in the skies. I'll see you guys later. Bye.